Here for the Education, Environment, Sustainability Committee meeting Wednesday, January 21st. Can I have a roll call?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling a roll, Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper.
Here.
Mr. Hauser.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
There is a quorum.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed in.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes
I
from
so move.
December 17th?
Nice.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so our first matter is 2026-0005.
Resolution number 2026-0005, authorizing an amendment to a grant agreement with the Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for Component 1 of the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program.
Good afternoon, council members. Joe Nani from County Council. This item is the 2-year budget for the Workforce Training Program, also known as the Educational Assistance Program the council created over a decade ago. This includes the recently approved budget for the biennial budget that was in the biennial budget and also extends the time frame for last year's expenditures. Laura Chalker is here from Workforce to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Chief of Staff. Let's have Ms. Chalker come up, please, and tell us about how the program's going.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Chalker. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Greater Cleveland Works. Since 2012, Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board, now operating as Greater Cleveland Works, has been administering the first component job training and retraining program of the county's Educational Assistance Program. We are grateful for Council's continued support of a program that directly connects county residents to education, skills, and quality employment. The purpose of the program is very straightforward and impactful: to provide financial assistance to residents pursuing post-secondary degrees or industry-recognized credentials that lead to gainful employment or career advancement. Eligible participants may receive up to $5,000 to offset the cost of training, including tuition, books, fees, credentials, testing, expenses, removing the financial barriers that often prevent residents from completing workforce training. In just the last 2 program years, over 170 county residents have received training through this program. 68% of those participants have been trained for careers in the healthcare sector, including medical billing and coding, community health work, nursing, and dentistry. The program has also supported training in high-demand, skilled occupations, such as crane and tower operation, CNC machining, welding, teaching, commercial truck driving, software development, and substance abuse counseling. Participants have been trained across 24 different training institutions, with Cuyahoga Community College and Cleveland State University serving the largest share, together accounting for 39% of all of our trainee placements. In short, this program is producing measurable workforce outcomes, strengthening key industries, and helping residents build sustainable careers, making it a strong investment in both our workforce and our local economy. Approval of this resolution will allow Greater Cleveland Works to continue building on these outcomes by extending the grant period to ensure our training providers are paid when participants complete their program, and by authorizing the additional funding to continue meeting our ongoing demand. With that, if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Thank you. Questions from committee members?
The list, thank you.
Councilman
Chair.
Jones?
The list I was trying to keep track, I heard welding.
Yes.
Crane tower. Can you name of the
I sure
substance
can.
abuse? If you just repeat that.
Yes,
list one
we've
more
had
time.
over 26 different areas, which I could send that list
If
to
you would,
you
if you'd email it
all.
to me.
But yes, including CNC machining, machine operators, crane and tower operation, welding, dentists. It's a very vast list of, but I can send you all that detail.
Please do. How do we direct individuals to take advantage of this opportunity?
So the 2 most direct ways that happens are the training providers will refer individuals that are either already in their program and are have a barrier to completing the program to us for help, or potential job seekers or individuals will come through our one-stop, the Ohio Means Job Center, requesting help for training. So both of those ways, it really happens
Like
both.
them to Ohio Means Jobs.
Yep, yep.
Thank you.
Schlepper, Dale, Council President, and then Michael, Councilman Hauser.
All right, thank you through the chair. Thank you so much for being here. I just had more of a, I guess, a broad question in terms of, I think this program is changing the game in Cuyahoga County. I think we need to expand upon programming like this. I think one of our most persistent and pressing issues is economic development, and the way that we counter that is through education. From your perspective, if you had a fully built out, fully actualized program that could be your dream scenario, could you kind of just give me just a couple tidbits of what that might look like and how we could be partners?
Sure. I wish I was asked that more often. I would say first, the dollars here are a really great example of allowing a broader breadth of who we can serve. That's why these dollars are so precious, because we have limited funding in other sources, so we can leverage these EAP dollars for Cuyahoga County residents. And so to answer your question directly, one of the things that is most challenging is many of these available resources have barriers themselves just to be eligible for. And this allows, so if they are not eligible, for example, for WIOA funding, which is our other largest funding source, this is a great opportunity that then, because they are a Cuyahoga County resident, they are eligible. They might be just over that income requirement for WIOA, and this is a perfect tool for that. So if I could have all of the money in the world to do this work, it would be we'd remove those stringent barriers of eligibility, and oftentimes just the ability to prove you're eligible is a barrier, and making it easier for people to be connected to these resources. Yes.
Council President.
Thank you very much. And my first question is whether there's any money left over from the prior contract, or has it all been expended?
There is money left, but it is obligated. That is why we had this language in here about granting an extension. This was our first year operating as our own nonprofit entity, and so it was the first year we really had a end date of December 2025. And these training obligations a person is eligible for up to 18 months of training as they're taking courses that are obviously typically a longer period of time. So that is why we've asked for the extension in the resolution language, because we've obligated those funds, but they have not been paid out to those training providers because the final payments are not paid until the participant completes the program.
And is it for similar reasons that the closing date is proposed for 8/31/2028 as opposed to December 31st, 2027?
That's exactly why. So that gives us time to pay out providers that those individuals will have been eligible and received the approved training dollars, but that training provider will be paid after they finish, which could be through August of 2028.
And do you have requests that are more than what the funding allows, or does the funding enable you to cover the requests that you receive?
We have requests for more than the funding we receive. We used to receive $500,000 per year, and that has been reduced to $250,000 per year over the next 2 years. So we are grateful we have funding to continue it, but we have always spent $500,000 every year.
At 500,000, was it enough to cover the requests?
No,
Still not enough.
still not enough.
And so how do you decide which ones get funded?
We give priority based on income level, and that is really the way we do that. We certainly try and make sure we've leveraged all of our resources first, and if someone's eligible, as I mentioned, for WIOA funding, then we will use those dollars first. But if they are not, this is really our last option at this point. But we will prioritize based on income level.
Thank you.
Councilman Hauser.
To the chair, to Laura Charker. I'm familiar with the name, so it's nice to meet you in person, Laura. Similar to Councilman Jones's question, what metrics are being used so we know like who all is participating in the program? And then is there particular populations that are being prioritized?
There is not a particular population other than Cuyahoga County residents. When I provide all of the training occupation categories and the institutions, I'll provide that data. I can certainly give you all the data of the individuals that are receiving those funds. All the
good, Laura.
basic demographic info too.
Appreciate it. And then just my last question, similar to Council President Miller, is the funding, I know this is a grant, and so how is the dollars being leveraged at the like state and federal level to make sure that we have additional resources?
We are constantly seeking additional funding to diversify our revenue streams as particularly WIOA funding for historically year over year has been reduced. One of the things that we have piloted and have seen tremendous success with is what we are referring to as a barrier removal fund, because there are also other barriers that inhibit an individual for finishing a program or work, childcare, transportation, just to name the two big ones. So we have leveraged private dollars to enhance a project that was started with funding through City of Cleveland. So that's one area. We continue to look at other sources, but that's primarily what we're doing, is looking at private foundations at this point, in addition to our federal and state funding.
Appreciate it, Laura. Thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to remind everybody, or let people know on this committee who weren't here at the beginning of this government. In our charter, one of the mandates for council, one of two, was education. The other was economic development. So there was a carve-out in the county charter that mandates and really directs council to address education. And we took that seriously, and I worked with Julian Rogers, former councilman, to come up with the assistance program. And we've consistently funded this from council. This is our program, and it's been at the level of $500,000 a year, and it's always been a situation where it's not enough. And we know that not everybody's college, ready or eligible or doesn't want to go, and it's important that we strengthen our workforce in conjunction with being able to thrive with economic development. We need workers. We need these sectors populated with skilled workers. So it was really important to me this first time in the history of our new government that we actually had to face a reduction in this program, and it was through the president that was helpful in at least restoring some of it. It's not enough. I want to see this council at the next budget or even midterm, midway through the budget, to be able to fortify this program, because people need to work. And if we don't have that in the county, then we're really in trouble. This is a priority, at least for me as chair of this committee. And what's traditionally, this has been funded with federal dollars. The old structure was not a nonprofit. It was part of the county government that we were funded with federal dollars through workforce training. But what's happened recently is there was a nonprofit formed that would enable workforce to have other type of funding, and to address Councilman Hauser's good question. Now they can raise money with the 501c3.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
they
correct.
can do fundraising. So that's been really helpful and to diversify the funding for this program. So that's why this nonprofit, I'm really excited about it. And from your standpoint, my question, how is that going? And have you seen any improvement in what you can do?
It's been fantastic. We can be proactive, and we can respond also very quickly to things, which has been so helpful when there's an issue that is arising in the workforce ecosystem. We can be there and do that. And obviously, as you've already mentioned, diversifying, having different funding streams that also have that we can leverage than the ones that have very strict requirements. So it's been, so far, it's been really impactful. And I'm excited to see what we do over the next couple of years.
Thank you so much for your work. I fully support this. Next time, I hope there's more funding. And, you know, the other funding, what's really great about us, the council being able to fund this, it's not restricted. All that federal funding has the restriction around TANF and eligibility and everything. This really gives the flexibility to serve those who maybe just fall in the middle. And that's always that gap that people struggle looking for help. So with that, if there's no other questions or comments, I will make wait, is there anything we need to move this along under suspension?
I believe
guess-
so.
Yes.
Because the current contract ended in December, and
Yes.
we'd like to.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to move this out of committee with a recommendation of passage under second reading suspension.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay, next item. Resolution number 2026-0017, authorizing a sub-grant agreement with City of Cleveland and a total amount not to exceed $14,882,505 to implement clean energy solutions and the installation of 10.2 megawatts of solar arrays at 2 landfills located within the City of Cleveland borders.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Mike Foley from Public Works, our Cuyahoga Green Energy public utility. This is a resolution, as you may recall, last year we were able to win this large EPA grant, $129 million. We had 3 partners involved in that, ourselves, the City of Cleveland, and the City of Painesville. And it's to put solar on a whole bunch of brownfields and landfills across Northeast Ohio. This is the sub-award that we need to do for the City of Cleveland. We'd come last year and done a sub-award for the City of Painesville. That's done. This is to complete that and finish up with Cleveland. So this is for $14.8 million. It will do 2 projects. It'll do there's a landfill out by the airport on Coltoff Road, and then one on West 11th Spring Road in the Old Brooklyn neighborhood. So on the back, there's a map that has all the projects that we've got involved and that we're all working on. But the 2 now in Cleveland are just West 11th and Coltoff Road. Just generally, I'm asking for second reading suspension because we've got to move quickly to get this done get this award done with Cleveland. But we have to spend the EPA money by October of 2029. But because these projects are relying on both EPA money and tax credit money from the Treasury, these tax credit dollars are things that the Trump administration has kind of messed around with last summer, and we have to safe harbor those tax credit dollars. So in order to safe harbor them, we have to start construction. And there's kind of technical definitions of how you start construction. And so we've done that for all of our projects. Painesville has done that for their projects. Cleveland still has to, quote unquote, start construction, which is why we're asking for this to be pushed as soon as possible for second reading suspension, meaning they have to get something on the ground by this coming June. So that's where we're at. This is to get this thing, I don't think there's been any issue. We've been pretty frustrated with kind of our dealings with Cleveland, but this is, we're at where we're at right now, and we need to push this thing forward.
Questions
Take
at
any
committee?
questions.
No? Okay, well, can I have I'm happy this is moving and that we can get some solar in Cleveland and moving this along. I'm happy to hear it. And Painesville is moving as expected?
Yeah, they're doing great.
Okay, all right, so I'll make that motion to move this out of committee with a recommendation of passage under second reading suspension at the next full council. I'm the first, I have a Councilman Jones as the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, me too. And actually, I want to add my name
My
to
name
both.
as well.
All of us? Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Okay. All right, that's it. No miscellaneous business. I will see you guys at the next meeting.